For the station on the Docklands Light Railway, see Prince Regent DLR station. For any of the Royal Navy ships of this name, see HMS Prince Regent. A Prince Regent, or Prince Regent, is a prince who rules a monarchy as regent instead of a monarch, e.g., as a result of the sovereign's incapacity or absence. While the term itself can have the generic meaning and refer to any prince who fills the role of regent, historically it has mainly been used to describe a small number of individual princes who were regents. Prince Regent in the United Kingdom. In the English language, the title Prince Regent is most commonly associated with George IV, who held the style HRH the Prince Regent during the incapacity, by dint of mental illness, of his father, George III. Regent's Park, Regent Street and Regent's Canal in London were all named in honour of him. This period is known as the British Regency, or just the Regency. The title was conferred by the Regency Act on February 5, 1811. Subject to certain limitations for a period, the Prince Regent was able to exercise the full powers of the king. The precedent of the Regency crisis of 1788 was followed. The Prince of Wales continued as regent until his father's death in 1820, when he became George IV. Prince Regent in Germany. In Germany, the title Prince Regent is most commonly associated with Prince Luitpold of Bavaria, who served as regent for two of his nephews, King Ludwig II of Bavaria, who was declared mentally incompetent in 1886, and King Otto of Bavaria from 1886 until 1912. The years of Luitpold's regency were marked by tremendous artistic and cultural activity in Bavaria, where they are known after the regencies as the Prince Regent DLR at the Prince Regent.A site. Numerous streets in Bavarian cities and towns are called Prince Regent in Straße. Many institutions are named in Luitpold's honor, e.g., the Prince Regent Theatre in Munich. Prince Regent Torte is a multi-layered cake with chocolate buttercream named in Luitpold's honor. At Luitpold's death in 1912, his son Prince Ludwig succeeded as Prince Regent. Ludwig held the title for less than a year, since the Bavarian legislature decided to recognize him as king. Prince Regent in Belgium. The first head of state of Belgium after it seceded from the Dutch monarchy in 1831 was a regent, Baron Erasme Louis Serre de Chokia. Before the new nation, which had chosen to become a parliamentary monarchy, had its first king sworn into the constitution. Prince Charles of Belgium served as Prince Regent of Belgium from 1944 to 1950 during the German captivity, and then exiled to Switzerland of his elder brother, King Leopold III of Belgium. Prince Regent in Bulgaria. Prince Kirill of Bulgaria was appointed head of a regency council by the Bulgarian parliament following the death of his brother, Tsar Boris III on 28 August 1943, to act as head of state until the late Tsar's son and successor, Tsar Simeon II, reached the age of 18 years. On 5 September 1944, the Soviet Union declared war on the Kingdom of Bulgaria, and on the 8th, Soviet armies crossed the Romanian border and occupied the country. On 1 February 1945, the Prince Regent Kirill, and the two other former regents, Professor Bogdan Filov and General Nikola Mikov, as well as a range of former cabinet ministers, royal advisers and 67 MPs were executed. Prince Lieutenant in Luxembourg. The heir apparent or heir presumptive to the Grand Duke of Luxembourg may be titled Prince Lieutenant during a period in which the incumbent remains formally on the Grand Ducal throne. but functions of the crown are performed by the monarch apprentice, as Prince Regent did the 4th of May 1961 to 12 November 1964 in the last years of his mother Charlotte's reign until she abdicated and he succeeded to the Grand Ducal throne, and Jean's own son Prince Henry III of March 1998 to 7 October 2000 until his father abdicated and he succeeded. Queen Regent. It has also been known throughout history that when a king is unable to reign or is out of the country for long periods of time, sometimes the consort will step up and will temporarily do the duties of a regent. In the Kingdom of Swaziland, Queen Mothers have temporarily stepped in when the sovereign was either a minor or unable to reign for other reasons. Other notable princes regent. More Prince Regents to be found in List of Regents. Duke of Zhejiang served as Prince Regent for his nephew King Cheng of Zhou until the latter came of age. Philippe II, Duke of Orléans, was Regent of France from the death of Louis XIV in 1715 until Louis XV came of age in 1723. This is also used as a period label for many aspects of French history, as regents in French. Crown Prince Frederick of Denmark served as regent from 1784 to 1808 for his father King Christian VII of Denmark, who was insane. Prince William of Prussia served as regent from 1858 to 1861 for his older brother King Frederick William IV of Prussia, who had become mentally unfit to rule. Prince Charles, Count of Flanders, served as regent from 1944 to 1950 for his older brother King Leopold III of Belgium, whose position had come under scrutiny after the Second World War and his marriage to Lillian Bales. Prince Dogon of the early Qing dynasty served as regent for his nephew, the Shunxi Emperor, from 1643 to 1650, because the latter was only 6 at the time of his ascension. Dogon was instrumental in moving Manchu forces into Beijing in 1644, proclaiming the Qing dynasty to be the legitimate successor to the Ming dynasty. In Qing dynasty historical records, Dogon was the first to be referred to as Shizheng Wang. Ramesses the Great, Prince Chun of the late Qing dynasty, served as regent from 1908 to 1911 for his son Pui, the Shantong Emperor. Apart from Dogon, Xifeng was the only person in Chinese history who was specifically referred to as Prince Regent. Crown Prince Hirohito served as regent from 1921 to 1926 for his ailing father, Emperor Taisho. Prince Paul of Yugoslavia from 1934 to 1941, known in Serbian as, served as regent for his first cousin once removed, King Peter II, who was a minor. John, Prince of Brazil, served as regent of Portugal for his mother Queen Maria I, who had become mentally unfit to rule, from 1799 to 1816. His regency was associated with the famous transfer of the Portuguese court to Brazil. Princess Saralukuti of Lagos, a Yoruba chiefess of the 17th century who served as queen mother of a line of tribal kings. The successors to the noble title that now shares her name have all subsequently served as regent of Lagos following the death of a reigning Oba. Princesses are traditionally called upon to serve as regents in this fashion in most of the other kingdoms of Yorubaland as well. In Akure, for example, the eldest daughter of a recently deceased king ruled in his stead until a substantive successor to the royal title was chosen by the College of Noble Kingmakers, a period that lasted for an unusually long 6 years due to a succession crisis in the state.